What's good, boys? Scented Edgy and Commandment got second place in FNCS Grand Finals yet again, fourth time in a row. So you know what that means. We're VOD reviewing, baby. Let's go over some day one games. Probably only one just for today, but I'll have some more videos coming out soon because I love watching this team. So it looks like they get Misty on Con, as they usually do in the Grand Finals. And that's because they're the best. Some of you might be thinking second place every time. They're clearly not the best. But if you're getting that consistent of placements and making that much money every single season, you're doing something right. And I did want to VOD review, I want to VOD review these teams in opens, or obviously I VOD review their cash cups, but they don't play opens because they just get straight to Grand Finals. But let's watch what their Grand Finals games are like, because whether you make it to Grand Finals or not, there's going to be a lot to learn, because in Grand Finals, there's little to no room for mistakes, and these guys are going to be playing to the best of their abilities, so let's enjoy this game. So they're just looting up. He's already 555 because he got that llama and the chug cannon. He's got 2 launch pads. See how fast they loot up? Zone hasn't even started closing yet, and they're already out. They like to do this a lot, especially in Grands. They get the fuck out of their drop spot so quickly, and they get to these hills before Surge. So there's already some people on their hills that they like to chill on, but they're just going to try to get some Surge on those kids, and they upgrade to a little IO car. Once zone pulls, actually they already saw that zone pull, but I guess they saw this llama. But I was gonna say once zone pulls, I'm gonna assume they're gonna try to get to center, but they'll probably just go right now. One thing that this other team is doing is just building hella, which may seem like a waste of mats, but if you don't they have a chug cannon, which is decent for them, but you're not going to be wanting to get tagged and wasting your big pots and minis in mid-game scenarios like this, especially when it's just for Surge. Like if you're going for a fight and you know that you can clean them up and get their loot and their siphon, then it's not that big of a deal. You can just do whatever you want, fight them, spray them out of the car, but in that scenario, you're most likely just going to want to build. But Scented Edgy and Commandment have two chug cannons, I believe, on their heads, and so they just decided to balloon fight the other team, and they drove past for some extra Surge tags. They get into close to the center zone and start basing up and refarming their brick, which is always a great play to do, so that they can obviously have a fatter base, have hella extra mats, and then as soon as the next zone pulls, they start to make their way towards zone. Okay, go for a new car. I like how they refresh their cars so much. They take a bunch of boom fights in the car, and then once their car gets low, they just switch cars. Kind of fuck with that. Especially with the 2 chuggies, bro. If your teammates get tagged, all you have to do is aim out the window and shoot once or twice, and then everyone's back to full. So it looks like they're just making their way towards center. In these Grand Final scenarios, you're going to want to get to center of zone as quickly as possible and as early as possible so that you can avoid fights and not have to rotate in later. But let's see what they do here. Just boxed up, looking back. They know that the kids on that mountain have to come towards them. Makes a fat metal tarp. It looks like they might be wanting to fight these kids, but they're just trading Surge right now, at the very least. not committing to the fight completely. Because Surge in these finals lobbies, if you aren't on top of your Surge game, then you're gonna die. And this other team knows that too. That's why they're not fully committing into the fight either, and they're both kind of just tagging each other up, playing it smart. Zone pulls, they get it a little bit, they mark middle, and they just go. This is what you want to do. Whenever you're rotating and you know that there's people looking at you, just place wood. Like, you can refarm wood practically anywhere. It's so easy to get. It's not even worth saving. Just use it. Even if you know even if you don't know if someone's looking at you, just use your wood. If you see somewhere some trees that you can refarm, just use your wood, bro. Maybe even brick. If you see a fat brick in front of you, just use your brick until you get there and then refarm, you know? It's usually worth to use your mats and not your shield. But they see some people going back behind their tarp. I don't know if this is like, yeah, this is definitely open. Sometimes replay mode gets some glitches and you can't see the wall and shit, but in this scenario, Sented's kind of just chilling in the open. Pretty protected though. He knows there's one team trying to rotate him behind him, and then there's only that one team that just shot at him that's looking at him. Then besides that, not too many teams around him. Looking at people who are fighting for Surge. You can never be too good on Surge, especially in these lobbies. Not looking too good on mats, I'm not gonna lie. But they pulled zone. They pulled edge zone, so they're committing to this house, making the gamble that they'll pull half and half. But let's see what happens. They actually, this is such a fucking good like game. They like, obviously they win this game, but they just get to zone so early and they don't fight anyone. They just tag a bunch of people up. Obviously it's going to be a little bit different in opens and cash cups and even in scrims, but in these kind of games where it's so fucking stacked, as long as you're in zone and everyone else is rotating and fighting and shit, then chances are, like, that's why he's using all these hards, is so that he doesn't get focused while he's just chilling in his base, you know? They end up pulling zone. I actually thought they were this team down here, but they were this team, and they actually, wherever they pulled zone, it wouldn't have been too far of a rotate, but they got the best half and half possible for where they were located. So Scented and Edgy stay up, and not Scented, Commandment and Edgy stay up on height, and Scented, oh, now they all drop down. Scented just tarped ahead while Commandment and Edgy stayed up, and we're looking for tags, kills, whatever they can do. This is where I'm going to start slowing it down a little bit so we can digest what's happening here. So it looks like they're going for this box fight play. They see this team back here. They're all looking the opposite direction, so I'm going to assume they're going to set up a pre-edit play, but it's sprayed from the top. They pulled zone again, so they go for the, I like this play. I like this play a lot. They set up the pre-edit. They know everyone has to come towards them because it plays back for them. And they see this guy in wood right here. I believe that he was in wood. But they just decided, fuck it, let's go fight. We've got our full tart back if we don't get the kill. And then, they still have a pad on their head. Maybe even two. I think they still have two, but see a solo here, take him down. I'm gonna assume they don't get too much loot just by the fact that that was a solo not building, but I hate how replay mode does this shit. Alright, so they pad, he still has one more pad. Edgy kills Day. seem like they had much loot there, so let's see what Edgy. It's the Tarper this game. Let's go, Edgy. But yeah, Sented's only on wood right now. He's just looking for a refresh with Commandment right here. Take down this dude, and they see zone pulls towards the right over here, kinda, and they still have 2 pads. I'm surprised they didn't just pad right there and save the mats, but let's see what happens here. I'm gonna assume they go for this refresh on this dude in wood right above them, but they do like to take low ground. This is actually a good play. So they see how it goes uphill a little bit, and they're a low ground team. If you guys watch Scented Edgy Commandment even a little bit, then you already know that they're a low ground team. And they see that it pulls uphill a tiny bit, so they're like 1 or 2 layers above ground, just so they don't get suffocated below ground. Obviously they have the mats to do this, so if they were low on mats, they might have dropped to low and then came up. Oh, nice fucking AR shot. Get some siphon mats, and now they're perfectly on the layer that they want to be on. I mean, obviously not in this situation because so many teams are on them, but they just decided to fuck it. Let's fight this team in this tarp. They take down Dubs. Edgy takes down Mega. And they get ahead. So they're looking for low ground right here. At least Scented is. That was a decent little refresh. Gets 500 wood. Drops it straight to Commandment. Looking down. I like these floor edit plays, and then they all get into the same box, and then they all look down at the same location. So that way, if there's a kid, then that kid's gonna get fried so quickly. But they're all in the same box, and they just look down at the same floor. Doesn't go in their favor this time, but they just jumped in this box. Get another chug cannon, and they're looking fucking fire for heal off right here. You see that low ground is up a few more layers, and Scented gets up only 1 more layer actually, but he gets up and just spams cones. They know that they're probably going to want to heal off. It is a 3v3, so we'll see. So I could tell they wanted to heal off there, but the other team definitely didn't, and they just fought it, and they ended up winning. What a sick game. 2nd place, Demons. So consistent. I love watching this team. Hopefully you guys learned a thing or 2 in this episode, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Gonna be some more VOD reviews on FNCS Grand Finals for sure. I'm gonna be VOD reviewing some opens as well, because that's where I feel like I need the most work, because I'm not in Grand Finals. But hope you guys enjoyed, learned a thing or 2. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.